So, have been bullied before?
I have. Yes.
Have you been bullied as a child and as an adult?
Yes, I've been bullied as a child, as an adult, and it's interesting because it's not the way other people would think. You can be bullied without even realize you're being bullied. Sometimes, as an adult, you're made to pick a side, and you're not given really much of a choice. And that's why I said what I said. Us as adults picking sides openly has really made it difficult for kids to explore and really talk about how they feel, because there's a right and wrong, and that's it. And if you're on the wrong side nowadays, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm sure you've caught yourself, now censoring yourself in just simple conversations, because, people are almost rabid about, beliefs and just day-to-day things. I mean, even the music you listen to, people have strong opinions.
It's almost safer to keep your mouth shut, but then you're not engaging in the world. And it's a huge. I think the term bullying sounds so simplistic.
It really does.
To the world.
Yeah.
It sounds so simplistic, like, okay, this is just something we have to talk about.
Antiquated.
Everybody be nice, but then it's so much bigger and deeper than people realize.
Yeah, I think it's more of an emotional harassment.
Yes.
Did you hear what I just did?
And
I just didn't. It's an emotional harassment. Bullying is.
I like that definition because.
Yes.
I mean, when it's your emotions, it cuts you. It cuts you to the quick, and it marks you.
Yes.
I mean, I remember being bullied as an adult.
Yes, and it is an emotional harassment. It's almost like emotional terrorism. I mean, and we're not talking about the physical. Right now, we're just talking about the emotional and the impact that has. And those of you that are listening, teens and kids, please take note. This is a very important podcast, and it is an emotional harassment. It's this, go back and listen to our episodes on boundaries. When we talked about boundaries, that's one of the things that we try to establish is that, without boundaries and without knowing what boundaries are, you're going to set yourself up to be bullied, and sometimes not even know you're being bullied. Sometimes it's so subtle that you find yourself making decisions based on other people's thoughts.
Yeah.
So, and I do see that a lot, and like again, I caught myself doing that. I became a people pleaser because of that, because it was easier for me just to say yes, no problem, I'm on your side.
Go along with the crowd.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, and I didn't realize that is a form of bullying. Choosing a side. If I have to choose a side, and I don't, I don't have a thought into it, I just have to choose. Yeah, that's a form of bullying. And again, adults, we have done that. We created that, and
it's pretty profound, though, Leo, because it is. No matter what kind of bullying it is emotional.
Yes.
It's how the person, who the victim feels, or how are they too afraid to speak up in a crowd because they swim the other way.
Yes.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that here at the Real Podcast of Dallas, I think we're onto something, Cindy. It's an emotional.
We are.
It's emotional terrorism. How's that?
So, would you be a bystander? I think it's situational, right?
Yes. If
my husband spoke of a time where he was in a very difficult situation, and he knew a girl was harmed, and but it was a gang, and what do? He was just a little puny high school kid.
High school, okay. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of kids that are in that situation. Should I say something, or do I become the target also? And again, forget the physical, because some of the kids through the lockdown. They were isolated, but they were on social media, and bullying continued.
Yeah.
Some people, yes, the isolation causes mental health issues, but I can only imagine, on top of being isolated, being on social media and then being attacked.
Right.
And again, sometimes they're indirectly. If I believe one way and I'm getting on and I'm hearing adults and I'm hearing people pick a side, I will feel bad about myself. And that's not fair, adults. I think that we need to go back to not expressing who we voted for, our religious ideations, and we need to go back to being more sober, a more sober society.
Because people are putting hateful flags in their yards and in your face things, and I'm just like, I think we need to stop and say, do I need to express my opinion or not?
Right.
Am I agitating?
Yes. Do I have to be? Do people have to know how I really think?
Yeah.
Right. When are my thoughts my own? Why do I have to always, express myself and how I feel? Some of those things should be private. It's kind of like having your dirty laundry at home, not at the workplace and not at school.
Right.
It's kind of an old teaching. I think the old ways have a place with balance. You got to balance it out. But I think now that we're talking about bullying, the amount of people that I have met in the past years, and then the amount of people I've worked with in treatment, bullying was always there, and it does cause long-term damage emotionally. Like I told you, I became a people pleaser because of the bullying, not just from the outside, but inside my family.
Right.
Family members. And I was very guilty of bullying my brother to a point where he was basically terrorized. I was an emotional terrorist, Cindy. And I have apologized to him for that because working with kids, I saw the impact that it had and the distrust that he had towards me.
Yes.
He didn't feel safe with me. So it's and who wants their kids around the person, even though it's family, but the person that terrorized you?
Right.
So a lot of healing with that. And why did I do that? Because I was told things at school. I was told things in the community, and you go back to the weakest, and you have to assert yourself. So that's not really assertive, that's aggression. And I just didn't know the difference. I really didn't know the difference. I just called it survival.
Right.
Some parents go ahead.
I just think it's interesting that when you want to defend somebody who's being bullied,
right, sometimes
it makes you want to commit acts of violence. Just
right.
to defend that person.
Yes. Yes. And
cut their legs out from under them.
Yeah. Now, we're not advocating violence, but you do feel that way. I mean, it's almost as it gets very frustrating, when people are very aggressive towards.
Well, and it's how we parent. I mean, we used to have a
definitely
male coworker here who, and I think it's more of a male trait that they raise their sons, that if somebody bullies you, you punch them, or you do something so that they don't test you anymore. Whereas, the female way is we tell our daughters, let's talk it out, and that we're all teaching different methods.
Right, and I'm glad
that we need to all just play nice and accept that we're not all the same, and it's okay to be different. Some are stronger, some are weaker, but we all have our own gifts and talents.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another thing. Growing up the way I grew up, that was it. People were able to defend themselves physically, and some people would fight back, and sometimes that would work. Sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes it only made it worse. Some of our TV shows that we watched when we were younger, they would show the bully, and then the kid would stand up for themselves physically, and they would win, and everything was great again. But the reality is that it got more violent later on. Guns to school or weapons. So it got a little bit more complicated. So parents that say that if that's your advice, just know that it's only going to open up for more violence.
Well, and I can have the highest admiration for somebody, so much respect,
right?
And then if I see them bully somebody, it can be stripped just that fast. Like, right. I could never see them the same way,
right?
Because I feel like they showed their true self.
Yes, and it's interesting because
it's revealing.
Yes, and if more people responded that way, we would do something about this bullying, because now we're putting a stigma on that behavior. So if you and I are friends, Cindy, and we believe the same way, and then little innocent Maria comes along. So I'll be Maria. Hello, everybody. I'm Maria. So I'm Maria. So you're gonna say, oh, you don't like the shirt I'm wearing, okay? And so I'll play me, and you play you, and then I'll play Maria. Okay. So hello, Cindy. How are you? Is this bullying? Hold on. Is this considered bullying? Well, we're doing a skit. Okay, so here I come.
Yes.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Leo. Do you like my shirt?
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to like it. Okay, so this isn't working. Okay.
Well, Maria, I'm going to go sit on this side of the room and pretend I don't know you.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, Cindy, come over here. We don't want to be around Maria. She just doesn't think like us. Poor Maria. But guys, why not? What am I doing? Oh, Maria, we don't. Go ahead, Cindy.
I don't like the color red, Maria. So I'm not going to sit over there.
But my mom liked it. She put it on me, and my dad said it makes my eyes stand out.
Yeah, it's not cool. You look like you were. Yeah, you look like you were born in the 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, Maria. It looks terrible. Come on. Don't let your parents dress you. How old are you?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's terrible. And you see...
What are those, Walmart shoes?
Yeah, Maria.
Loser. No. I used to be embarrassed to wear what were those Walmart shoes called?
I know we had Pro Wings, and if you got caught with
Pro Wings, yeah.
Those were those were from what's that other store? It wasn't Walmart. It was
Yeah, and I wasn't in the cool crowd because I wore those to school.
I wore them too, and it's interesting because I think
if you would have asked me out, I would have been like, "Oh no, you wear Pro Wings."
even though you had them.
Even though I have them.
But it was like
right?
that. Yes.
It's stupid.
Yes, that a decision of friendship is made on something you're wearing or not wearing.
Right. Right.
Instead of who you really are, the content of your character.
Now I can't hang around you or Maria. So.
Yes, we can. This little podcast that could, it can't.
Yeah. No, but it's that trivial. It's that stupid.